Yeah, I guess.
Coach Brock, now that you've had a chance to look over the LSU tape, what disappointed you most about the effort that night?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things obviously you draw from it. Number one, I just didn't think we played with the competitive fire that we had, especially early in the Arizona game. But even as the game progressed in Arizona, I thought we played hard through that the entire game. And obviously, as coaches, we didn't get that across to them. The importance of that 11 a.m. kickoff, we didn't show up with the same intensity that LSU did. And I mean, credit them, credit their coaching staff because they did a better job than we did, obviously, getting that done.
Arnett, as Zach's mentioned a couple times in camp, the possibility of a four-man front, just doing different things with the defensive front. What other things, I guess, schematically can be done to sort of give that group some help in getting some more consistent pressure throughout a game?
Yeah, I think some of that is rotating in more, right? Some younger guys got to elevate so that you're more fresh as the game progresses. And I think that obviously helps your pass rush. And then, there's times we got pressure, pressures like blitzing and different things like that. And then obviously, that puts stress in other places, And so, but I think it comes down to rotation, getting bodies in there, keep it fresh, which means your younger guys got to elevate.
Kind of on the other side of the ball, Will Rogers was saying he's not surprised to see Stone Blanton having success early on for South Carolina. What do you remember about him from the recruiting process and what was intriguing about him as a young player?
Yeah, I mean, I have not. I would be lying to you if I told you I'd watched him yet, but I know he's starting all that. I thought he was a great kid, great family, hard worker, physical player, played the game the right way, tough, all those things, smart. I mean, when we were recruiting him, we kind of looked at him and went like, all right, can he be a Jet Johnson type player for us? And I think that's probably what his trajectory is right now. And so obviously great job by him, and he's doing good things over there.
How did your Sam linebackers grade out?
Okay, not to the level. Obviously, nobody graded out very well, coaches included now. Okay, so I'm not going to say that they graded out well because you don't give up that many points, that many yards, and all the things that come with it, and anybody grading well. So I don't think anybody on the defensive side graded well, coaches and players.
Your thoughts on Deontay Anderson the past couple of weeks and his development?
He's getting better. I think he saw just how physical the game is in the trenches in the SEC, and so hopefully you see that. You've got hit in the mouth, you got bloodied a little bit, and you come back from it even stronger.
LaShawn being denied his appeal, now you're going to probably run Isaac Smith out there, a true freshman making a start on an SEC field. It's a challenge for him, and how is he taking that on?
It is. It's absolutely a challenge. Obviously, he's mentally though he's pretty mature for his age, and so by no means does that make you ready for it, right? Until you actually step out there. But I mean, he's the type of kid that he's a gym rat. He's that way through recruiting, and so you hope that maturity will showcase on the field.
Past 2 weeks combined, almost nearly 1,000 yards allowed. How personal are the leaders and the seniors in that room sort of taking these past 2 weeks and bringing it into South Carolina?
We better all be taking it personal. I mean, not just the seniors, but everybody that sets foot on the field, everybody that's preparing in that office up there. You give up that many yards, you give up that many points. I mean, if that doesn't put a pit in your stomach, I mean, you're not the type of competitor we need, and that's across the board. So nobody's happy with it, but I wouldn't just say it's just the seniors. I mean, it's got to be a whole thing, whole organizational mentality.
Kind of along that, Will and Jaden were talking about players-only meeting earlier today. I guess is that a promising sign to see some of those veterans taking that initiative and wanting to send a message, without the coaches having to?
I think that's always good. Obviously, player-led teams are always the best teams you're going to have, right? But ultimately, talking about it's one thing. We got to go out and do it on a daily basis, all the way through an entire week, through an entire 60 minutes, or as long as it takes. But I'm sure those are good steps, and now it's just got to actually come to fruition on the football field.
South Carolina gave a lot of sacks in their first game. They seem to have corrected some of that last couple of contests. What are they doing differently to protect the quarterback, or is he just escaping more?
Probably a little bit of both, but they've rotated some different bodies in there on the offensive line, through all 3 games. Really, you kind of look at it, there's a few consistent guys that have been there all the way through, but obviously he's got mobility to break the pocket and hurt you. And they're running the ball. Their rushing yards are a little bit skewed because of those sacks early, But they're very capable in all areas of their offense to run the football or throw it over your head. So great challenge, and we've got to improve upon it, especially with the film that we've put there.
What do you tell these guys, especially the younger guys, just about bouncing back mentally and psychologically after a loss like you guys experienced last weekend?
I think it's a pretty simple message. I mean, how do you get the feeling out of your stomach right now? You go back to work and you fix it, and the only way you get that fixed is through hard work, preparation, and then going out and playing good football. And so we can talk about all we want. It's all about the actions of actually getting it done to get that feeling out of your stomach.
Thank you, Coach Rossman.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
How you doing, Coach?
Good. You all right?
Coach Barbet, having looked at the game, what do you take away from the LSU game that you can move forward and build on the upcoming games?
Well, obviously we're disappointed, and you know we've got to do a better job. You know, from a standpoint of where we got to improve. You know, we're playing in third and long so many times, and we've just got to get better on first and second down. You know, we've poor third down conversions. You know, and that's attributed to, you know, not great first and second down. So, you know, obviously I'm disappointed and embarrassed. You know, way too many 3 and outs, and you know, we just got to keep trucking along and get our guys playing better.
We've seen Mike Wright use, I guess, 3 different ways in 3 different games, just in terms of that snap counts and all that. Do you feel like you, Zach, and the offensive staff have a confidence of how to use him going forward, or is that still, I guess, a process, you know, going into this game?
Yeah, you know, Mike is a talented player, great kid. You know, we think about Mike as the spark, you know, when things aren't going great, you know. And I think he's handled it great. You know, he's come in and gotten his opportunity a few times and has really done a good job. And so we'll continue to, you know, explore it and keep working him. And he's all in, man. And he's a great kid. And I'm, you know, really proud of him and going in that moment and, you know, making some of the plays that he did on Saturday.
When you guys don't have a solidified, you know, starting 5 up front yet, how much, I guess, does that affect you as a play caller when, I guess, they're shuffling in and out within a drive even, and you know, you're trying to call plays?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think, you know, as a play caller, you know, when you do have moving parts at O-line, you know, to be honest with you, just as the plan goes, when we plan it throughout the week, you know, those guys, we know that they're going to be rolling in and be, you know, going through there. So on game day, it doesn't really affect me quite as much. You know, but obviously we've got areas to clean up everywhere. And I think if you guys, and I'm sure y'all have all gone back and watched the film as well, we've got, you know, one little error here that, you know, caused this play to be a negative play. And then, you know, another position groups makes that same error, or, you know, a quarterback makes a poor throw, or, you know, we get pressure. And so right now we're just kind of in a rotating, you know, mistake routine that we got to get out of. And I think we're close. But right now it's not complementing very well with, you know, stacking, you know, one mistake on top of the other. So
When you sat down with Will after this game, what did y'all talk about?
You know, really with Will, I mean, look, he's experienced and he knows, and you know, just really getting his confidence. Mm-hmm. And you know, he knows he can, and he knows he didn't have his best day. But you know what? I didn't have my best day, mm-hmm. And you know, I've got to do a better job of getting him ready to go, and you know, taking easy completions and getting the ball out of his hand.
When we look at the South Carolina defense on film, what do you see from them that's going to pose a challenge?
Yeah, those 2 linebackers, I think, are really hard-nosed guys, man. They're football-playing dudes that are fun to watch on film because they will come downhill and they will light you up. You know, the interior, the D lineman, I don't want to mispronounce his last name, Hemingway, is a really good player. So he's somebody that we're going to have to be able to manage up front. And then, you know, the corner on the outside, I think, is a special player, maybe one of the best ones that we've seen so far.
Even for a veteran team, a 7:30 start somewhere is a late start. What do you as coaches do to keep those guys either rested or put their minds on football all afternoon?
Yeah. You know, we have meetings in the morning time, and then they have a little bit of rest time where they're watching games, and then we get back and we have more meetings and walkthroughs. And but there's a balance of not trying to, you know, wear them out, but have them prepared for those late night games, because it's a lot of sitting around at a hotel, you know, when you get there the night before.
We haven't had a chance to see him, obviously, since camp ended, but what's Chris Parson doing right now?
Yeah, Chris is, he just got done with one of the scrimmages out here, coming along really nicely. He's been, you know, going over and working with the scout team some, which I think is valuable experience for him, just feeling a pass rush and, even though it's maybe running the other team's offense, he's really taken great pride in it, and it's fun to watch. He's going to be a great player.
Could he play if he had to, if the worst case happens with Will and Mike and those guys?
Yeah, I've got total faith in Chris Parson. He's a strong-arm kid that's really invested in learning the offense, and I think he could play.
We've only seen one catch, I believe, out of the tight end group this year. I guess, has the impact of not having Spivey been as big as you thought it was going to be? I don't know if I'm wording that correctly, but.
Yeah. I would like to use the tight ends a little bit more. And, right now we're in a kind of a situation where, each of them has a kind of a niche, and we got to make sure that we're, quality controlling ourselves and not using them just to, be a run blocker or whatever. But, I've got faith in all those guys. Sometimes the ball, you just got to let the ball find you. And, hopefully in the future, we're getting more tight end catches.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That was pretty easy, guys. Appreciate that.